So hello guys, in today's video I'll be doing a full breakdown of Bitcoin, specifically BTC USDT, so that we get to see a full overview of where Bitcoin might be heading in the near future. And so without further ado, then let's get right into the video. Alright, so currently I am in the weekly time frame, and of course we can clearly see, if I am to mark the market structure here. Okay, so right here, price has taken out the inducement and of course made a break of structure. So of course this will make us a break of structure to the upside, that is bullish BOS. Okay, so there was the swing point, and this one here is a swing point low, of which you can clearly see price has already made a break past that, meaning price has shifted bearish. As we can clearly see, this here was our major inducement, of course, on that dealing range. So yeah, we can clearly see that, and price failed this order flow. So exactly right here, this was the order flow of the dealing range, I mean the extreme order flow. Okay, so there was it, the valid order flow, the valid extreme order flow. Price gave the reaction, but as you can clearly see, eventually price made a break past the external low, and we know once that happens, then of course the market bias has shifted to bearish. That is of course the change of character to the downside, and of course now our dealing range will be from this high all the way to, that low. Okay, so if I am to mark the swing points, of course we have our swing point high and we have our swing point low exactly right there. So this now is a bear one, as price has made a change of character to the downside. So there we have it, our high, and there we have it, our low, and this here is now our current dealing range. Okay, so now we can clearly see price is reacting bullish, and if you can clearly see, this is happening after price has mitigated this order block onto the left. So you can clearly see after price has mitigated that order block onto the left, we can clearly see price is reacting back into our dealing range. And of course, we know that once price has made a structure, a break of structure, our next step is usually marking, of course, the inducement. So there we have it. And in this case, since this happened before the change of character, then that, of course, is our minor inducement. Okay, so let me just mark it in full. IDM, it is an abbreviation of inducement. Okay, so there we have it, our minor inducement. If I am to mark the extreme order flow, it's none other than this one. So there we have it, our valid extreme order flow. Okay, so now the question is, will this order block push this price all the way towards the change of character, a break past our external high, or it will just be a minor pullback, or it will just be a minor reaction and then price continue with its prevailing downtrend? Okay, so if I get to the higher time frame so that I get to see where this order block is at. Okay, so the higher time frame right here, it can be the 3 months or maybe the monthly. So getting to the monthly, we can clearly see right here the structure of the monthly. So price, okay, so there we have it. Price has taken out the inducement, and then after that we can clearly see a reversal past that swing point that was prior to this retracement that took out the inducement. So there we have it, inducement, and of course we know once such a pattern has formed, of course this will be a bullish break of structure. We can clearly see that our order block right here is of course an order block that was created after the higher time frame break of structure. And what do we know about this kind of order blocks? They are actually weak order blocks. So right here we have a weak order block. Why weak order block? Because it was created after the break of structure. So this means that our valid reversal POI will be none other than this extreme order flow down below here. But this will take a lot of time before price achieves it there. So let's get back to the monthly time frame. At least now we know that price is reacting from a weak order block. So if I refine this order block so that it matches the weekly, of course we can get it right there. And of course that's of course the weak order block that price is reacting from. So right now we have our structure, a change of character, break of structure. This is the minor inducement. And right now we usually know that we usually don't sell or buy before the inducement takeout. So in this case, we can clearly see that price is heading towards this smart money trap. right below here. So there we have it, a smart money trap. But remember that this here is of course a smart money trap. But if I dive into the lower time frame, this is actually a valid POI. Okay, so let me get to the lower time frame so that you get to understand exactly what I mean. Of course, the lower time frame in this case, it will be the 4 hour, but of course the 4 hour, it will give me a bigger structure and I just want something small. So let me get to the 8 hours, but the appropriate one, the one that should be used, is actually the 4 hour. So let me get to the 8 hours here, and we can clearly see that on the 8 hours, here we have it, the structure. So I hope you guys can clearly see. So imagine this is the 8 hours and the structure is that elongated. What if it is the 4 hour? Okay, anyway, we can clearly see this here is the break of structure. So there we have it, a break of structure. And the reason as to why I'm using this as a break of structure is because we can clearly see price has taken out the inducement exactly right here, major inducement. So after price has taken out the major inducement, of course we know, and price reversing back and making a break past the swing point prior to the retracement that took that inducement, then in that case we have just created a break of structure. In this case it will be to the downside, and of course that's what we can clearly see right here. It's a break of structure to the downside, a bearish break of structure. Okay, so now if I am to mark the order flows, of course, so now let me get rid of this POI, right? I mean this SMT, the weekly SMT, so that I get to refine things based on the time frames that we are currently. We can clearly see that okay, so yeah, this here is the order flow starting from this, and if I do this, you can clearly see this order flow is mitigated. So if it's mitigated, then of course it is an invalid order flow. So the order flow that comes after it is none other than this one. Okay, so you can clearly see also mitigated, and of course this one here is the one that is yet mitigated on our extreme. So exactly right there. So what does this mean? This makes what we call now a valid order flow, and in this case an extreme valid order flow. Okay, so you can clearly see a valid pullback down below here. So this means that this here will make, okay, so it's actually the recently formed valid pullback on an impulsive leg. So this means on the 8 hours, this is actually a major inducement. Probably on the 4 hour, it will be an engineering liquidity. As we can clearly see this one here, this one here is not a valid pullback. We can clearly see that. Okay, anyway, price has taken out this inducement. So in that case, I'll just use that. So as I can represent that as a core liquidity level, as we know that the lower time frame, the 4 hour, this here is of course the engineering liquidity. Okay, so price has taken out the engineering liquidity and is giving this low. And like I said, this here is of course an extreme order flow. So if price fails the engineering liquidity, then price will be looking forward for this extreme order flow, of which this extreme order flow is overlapping with our weekly smart money trap. I hope you guys are actually with me here. Okay, so if I get to the weekly now, we can clearly see now, you get to understand exactly what I am referring to here. So this here is of course the 4 hour. In that case, I'll use the 4 hour. So the 4 hour extreme order flow, and as well as it's overlapping with the weekly SMT. So exactly right there, we can clearly see this here is of course the weekly smart money trap. So that's the reason as to why I said price can literally respect that smart money trap and continue lower. But in that case, it will be respecting the lower time frame structure. So in that case, it will be respecting the lower time frame structure. So have that in mind. And right now we can clearly see that price is giving this reaction. And of course, there is a possibility that price may continue all the way towards this external low below here. And of course, head all the way towards our case. So of course, I should be getting to the weekly time frame. So this can continue, and of course this can continue lower all the way towards our valid reversal area before now Bitcoin pumps all the way towards the all-time highs again. So that is actually my view on Bitcoin, and currently I am looking forward for the sell. But just like I said, if the 8 hour or the 4 hour or our lower time frame in general fails, that is price fails this core liquidity level, this one here, and at the same time fails this extreme order flow here, as well as the origin order block above here, then in that case we'll be looking forward for price taking out the weekly inducement. Of course, this here is what we call the origin order block. So it is only valid after price has failed the extreme order flow as well as the order block that is present inside here. So if price fails these two POIs as well as the core liquidity level down below, you can clearly see price is literally respecting the core liquidity level. So you can clearly see right here, price is giving this reaction, kind of respecting the core liquidity level. So price can continue lower all the way to this area, or price can head higher to these POIs, and if it fails this POI, then we'll be looking forward for the weekly structure. Then we'll be looking forward for the weekly structure, of course, exactly right here, whereby price now will continue. Things like this, price continues and takes out the minor inducement, probably extends towards the extreme before now continuing lower all the way towards the valid reversal area, or in that case the valid extreme order flow, and of course continue or pump higher towards the all-time high again. Actually, this order flow, we can clearly see there is a core liquidity level here, the sell side liquidity right before our extreme order flow. That is what we call the engineering liquidity. So yeah, we have a core liquidity level down below here. So price can literally take that out, but it's actually near the extreme order flow. So the takeout of that and mitigation of our extreme order flow down below here, of course, I'll be anticipating price to make that pump, or price can head lower entirely all the way towards that. Okay, so if I get back to the monthly time frame, we can clearly see that this one here is the extreme. Okay, so we can clearly see that this is mitigated. Okay, sorry. So you can clearly see there it's mitigated as well as the one following it. So in this case, the only order block that we are left, okay, so it's this one here. So there we have it, our extreme order block. So there we have it, our extreme bullish order block. So price can literally make it there, but for now, actually, that will take a lot of time. So right now we are only interested with this kind of price action here. And of course, this is something that I'm actually predicting for the long term. Currently, we should be on the lower time frame, probably the 4-hour or the 8-hour. I'm just doing this so that I can get bigger picture for the video, but actually you should be using the 4-hour, because this one here is the engineering liquidity on the 4-hour, but on the 8-hour it's actually the inducement. But nevertheless, it's all a core liquidity level. So right now what I'm anticipating, probably on the M30 or the M15, price is currently on the second leg, and of course that will continue all the way towards the external liquidity. Okay guys, that is my view on BTCUSDT, and of course, if you have anything to add or anything to say, any comment, of course, feel free to leave your view on the comment section. And by the way, I have a Telegram channel. If you're interested in joining, I'll be leaving the link in the description of this video. And if this video was informative and valuable to you, then do me a favor also, drop a like, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.